starting in 15 seconds. Stations, stand by in 15 seconds.
Nevertheless, they were able. Well, the circumstances, but as I say, just unfortunate for the Leewards that nobody was able to stay with him thus far, and a few soft dismissals, Garfield.
Absolutely. Some of the batsmen really gave away their hand, especially when they needed to have stayed with Monson Hodge. He's really been the anchor for this inning so far. As a rundown, as the players are coming out to the field, the two batsmen, Monson Hodge and Hayden Walsh Jr. Monson Hodge, the slightly taller of the two batsmen. Of course, the Jamaicans are looking. It seems as if it's Derval Green who will be starting the attack this morning and wearing number 4 from the Secretary Amber's end. So Monson Hodge, 60, 172 deliveries, 9 fours, no sixes. Kyron Powell, 17. He was caught Smith bowled Minley, faced 30 balls. Ross Powell caught Smith bowled Merchant for 19. He faced 43 deliveries. Amir Django caught Blackwood bowled Green for 7. He faced 22 deliveries. Casey Carty caught Blackwood bowled Merchant for 2. He faced 8 deliveries. And of course, Terence Ward, the other batsman to go, caught McCarthy bowled Green for 3. He faced 14 deliveries. The fall of wickets is a 37 for 1 when Kyron Powell went, 72 for 2 when Ross Powell went, 86 for 3 when Amir Django went, 93 for 4 when Casey Carty went, 93 for 5. Still the score at 93 when Jamar Hamilton went, the captain, without scoring, and 96 for 6 when Terence Ward went for, as we said, Terence Ward making 3 on that. So 134 for 6 now the score. So these two put on 38 runs in this partnership, and they'll be looking to put on many more as Derval Green is about to start the attack this morning. He'll be bowling to Hayden Walsh Jr. 2 slips a gully, a man at point or just backward of point. There is a mid-off, a mid-on. There's a short leg, fine leg, and a man at deep square leg. Here is Derval Green bowls, and to this delivery, Hayden Walsh Jr. is pushing it square on the offside, fielded by the man at point. There is no run. Hayden Walsh stays on 18, 134 for 6. The deficit 167.
Yes, and Green will be looking to attack Walsh Jr. this morning. Just the 2 slips, surprised, but he does have a short leg and a square leg, and the man on the fine leg boundary. So maybe setting him up for the hook shot. Wait and see.
Let's see what happens as Derval Green runs away. The second delivery of the morning bowls and is beaten outside the off stump. Beautiful delivery, rising outside the off stump. That one took off from a length and surprised. You saw the reaction from Hayden Walsh Jr. Surprised at him, from him. The first slip applauding that effort.
Yeah, very good delivery there by Derval Green. He's got the angle coming from around the wicket into the left-hander. That one straightened and bounced a little. But, luckily for Hayden Walsh, he didn't get the edge.
All right, so Derval Green will be very, very encouraged by the bounce he got on that as he runs it again to bowl to Hayden Walsh Jr. This delivery coming into him. He pushes it on the onside, fielded by the man at short leg. There is no run. That one, a little hint of movement off the seam into Hayden Walsh Jr., but he was equal to the task. Back of a length, a shortish delivery, and he was able to watch it closely from the back foot.
Yes, he seems to be coming in very nicely this morning, is Green, and attacking the batsman as he should be at this stage of the innings. 134 for 6. As here comes Derval Green bowls. On the back foot is Hayden Walsh Jr. pushes this on the offside. There is no run, fielded by the man at mid-off, the captain, John Campbell. Throws it back to the slipper, who polishes the ball vigorously on his flannels. 2 slips a gully. Man at backward point, mid-off, mid-on, short leg. A man just back of the square, midway inside the boundary, obviously there for the catch. And there's a square, and there's a fine leg. So Derval Green looking to perhaps induce a fall stroke from Hayden Walsh Jr. He runs up and bowls, and this delivery is cutting inside again and played out on the offside square, fielded by the man at point. There is no run. Who's and ahs as the players, they were holding their heads as that one had a hint of movement off the seam again. Definitely Garfield, and because he's holding that good line just on or about off stump, Hayden Walsh Jr. is in two minds whether to come forward or play back into that last delivery. Excuse me, he should have been forward, and so he almost got himself in trouble there.
Here comes Derval Green, runs in again, bowls, and this one is just played into the onside. And there is a single for Hayden Walsh Jr., the first run of the morning, 135 now for 6. He moves on to 19, and that's the end of the over. He keeps the strike. Derval Green, that one, Hayden Walsh Jr. was coming forward, and that one just nipped back into him, and the ball just squeezed out on the onside. They managed to get a single.
Yes, he actually played that rather well, Hayden Walsh Jr., to that last delivery of the over, because it did nip back off the seam, as you said, Garfield, and he was able to get his bottom hand off the bat to keep it down, of course, with the short leg hovering. But it looks like their main bowler, as you'd expect, in Minley, will be coming in from the Sir Andy Roberts end. But still, he's employing the short leg. Pretty much the same field, actually, for Hayden Walsh Jr. 2 slips, gully, backward point, and looks like a backward square leg halfway in from the boundary.
So pretty much, as I said, a replica of what the field was in the last over. That's the first over of the day. That was bowled by Derval Green. I expected to actually see Markino Minley start, actually, but Derval Green started. But let's see what happens here. As well, it depends on what happened yesterday. Here is Markino Minley bowls and beaten outside the off stump. Is Hayden Walsh Jr. playing at thin air there a while ago, as that one just whizzed through to be taken by Dennis Smith. I think the pace got him there.
Yes, little pace, and also that uncertainty just on or about off stump, and again with the angle coming around the wicket to the left-hander. But expansive shots like that is not what is required at this stage of the innings, though, Garfield.
Absolutely not. He'll be perhaps looking to be more circumspect. As here comes Markino Minley, runs in again to bowl to Hayden Walsh Jr. Short delivery. This time angled down the leg side and taken down the leg side by Dennis Smith. There is no run. The score remains 135 for 6. 166 now behind. Still a Herculean task for the Leeward's Hurricanes to save this match. These two will have to be there for a very long time. If the Leewards will have any chance of saving this match. The Jamaicans obviously looking to close things out very quickly. Marquino Mindley steaming in again from the Sir Andy Roberts end. Up to the wicket now, and bowls to Hayden Walsh Jr. beaten outside the off stump again. Knew nothing about that one. He presented a backward defensive shot, but the ball eluding him.
Yes, almost squared him up there, did Mindley, and once again, that's the uncertainty of the line he's bowling. Hayden Walsh Jr. very wary of the one that straightens for Mindley. But good to see him battling it out. These two have added 39.
Here comes Marquino Mindley again. Runs in again, bowls, and shorter. This time he just plays within the line and allows it to be taken by the wicketkeeper. There is no run. So this angle, obviously the Jamaicans have been doing it for all the left-handed batsmen around the wicket. The ball presenting a corridor of uncertainty for the batsmen just outside the off stump. The batsmen are not so sure whether or not they should play or not. Kyron Powell had the same sort of challenge when he was being bowled, when he was facing outside around the wicket. So here comes Marquino Mindley again. Another angle from around the wicket. Up to the wicket now, and bowls, and going for the hook shot there was Hayden Walsh Jr. making no contact with it, and the fielders there just behind square and also the fine leg were pretty much starting to lick their lips a while ago as they saw that attempted shot from Hayden Walsh Jr.
They're certainly getting interested, and Hayden Walsh Jr. just needs to relax, study the position of the game. There's no need. He can just be ducking under those deliveries with the field set the way it is.
Here comes Marquino Mindley again. I'm sure he'll be buoyed by what he's seen. He bowls, and this time forward defensive comes Hayden Walsh Jr. Plays it on the onside of the pitch. Fielded by the man at mid-on. There is no run. That's the end of the over. And over, a testing one for Hayden Walsh Jr. And the taking strike for the first time this morning will be Monson Hodge in the next over to Derval Green. Let's see what happens in the next over. But 135 for 6. Still 166 runs the deficit. 4 more wickets for the Jamaicans to win this match.
Yes, very good opening over there by Mindley. But if you see what he's doing though, Garfield, and he's got that ability to keep the one that straightens. So therefore, that is why the batsmen are in two minds whether they need to play at those deliveries or not. Keon Pemberton was doing the same thing for the Leeward Islands. He getting very nice swing and movement away from the left-handed batsman. Just the problem, and he's still learning, obviously, Pemberton, but if he can ever get that one to straighten, he will be just as threatening.
Absolutely. And of course, just to explain to our viewers and our listeners that Derval Green started from this end because the last over yesterday was bowled from the Sir Andy Roberts end. And by the way, Marquino Mindley loves the Sir Andy Roberts end. Here comes Derval Green. He bowls, and this delivery outside the off stump. Monson Hodge offers no shot, taken by Dennis Smith, the wicketkeeper. 2 slips the gully to Monson Hodge. A man at point or just behind, and there is a man in the covers. There's a mid-off, a mid-on, a shortish mid-on, as well as a man just in the square leg boundary, just forward of square, plus there's a square plus there's a fine leg as well. So Derval Green will be looking to, obviously the field for Monson Hodge is not so much trying to induce him into the pull shot or hook shot. It's a more regulation field on the fourth morning. Here comes Green bowls, and this one is played square into the offside, fielded at point, no run. Monson Hodge stays on 60. But obviously the plan to Hayden Walsh Jr. is to get him to play that miscued hook or pull, and certainly they have a fielder halfway in on the square leg boundary plus a fine leg and a short leg as well, hoping to get him on the short ball.
Yes, but deep backward square leg for Monson Hodge is wasted again by Campbell. That man should be right up.
Here comes Derval Green. Bowls to Monson Hodge and just squeezed it onto the onside. Fielded by the man coming off the very same person that you spoke about, coming off the square leg boundary. Fields, there is no run. And the field now will just switch around for the left-handed Hayden Walsh Jr. And now it's going to be going back to the same field. So a short leg coming in under the helmet. And there will be a man just halfway to the boundary, just about a few meters inside the boundary on at square leg, plus a fine leg, plus a short leg. So hopefully getting him to hook, plus 2 slips, a gully, man just back with a point, mid-off, mid-on. Let's see what happens here as Derval Green runs in from the Sir Curtly Ambers and bowls. This one is pitched up and driven through the covers, 4 runs. So that one obviously looking to go for the trick where you get a batsman to think that it's going to be a short ball, then you pitched up. This one was over-pitched in his arc, and he hit through the covers of 4.
Yeah, lovely shot there by Hayden Walsh. It was over-pitched delivery, and he's got acres of space there on the offside with just the mid-off forward of the wicket. So lovely shot for 4. But when you've got the guy out on the deep square leg boundary, it's too easy for Hodge to just knock the ball into the onside, come off strike. There's no pressure on him. If he was up by the umpire.
That's it. Here comes Derval Green. He runs in again to bowl to Hayden Walsh Jr. This one is a shortish delivery. Played on the back foot. Squirts it out into the offside. Fielded at square at the offside of the man at point. There is no run. And the score remains 140 for 6. Hayden Walsh Jr. now 23. Munson Hodge 6-1. Actually, that's exactly what Munson Hodge did previously. Just play the ball to the man at the deep square leg boundary and was able to get a run. I mean, granted, I'm not so sure the Jamaicans are exactly unhappy that he comes off strike. I think they have they want to bowl more to Hayden Walsh Jr., I think. Here comes Derval Green. He runs it again from the Sir Curtly Ambers and bowls and is pitched up delivery again. This one played back along the pitch. And you see what Derval Green is trying to do as he overcomes to an 140 for 6. Walsh Jr. 23, Munson Hodge 61. He's trying to essentially get the batsman to think that there will be short pitch deliveries all the time, then mixing it up with those pitched up deliveries as well.
Yes, most definitely. He's trying to keep Hayden Walsh Jr. guessing. And I understand what you're saying, that, you know, Hayden Walsh Jr. being the lesser of the 2 batsmen out there at the moment. But you still should be attacking both ends. You just need the 4 wickets. And if you brought the deep backward square leg up to a more traditional square leg position, it forces Hodge, therefore, then to maybe do something different to try and beat that fieldsman if he's looking to hit the ball through the onside. But just giving him easy singles is more or less shutting down one end.
Here comes Markina Mindley starting a new over to bowl to Munson Hodge. 2 sips and a gully waiting. This one is outside the off stump, left alone to be taken by wicketkeeper Dennis Smith. And there is no run. 140 for 6 to score. Munson Hodge 61. Hayden Walsh Jr. At 23. 161 now the deficit. 161. So 2 slips, a gully, man at point, cover. There's a mid-off, a mid-on. And there is a deep forward square leg as well as a deep fine leg. Here comes Markina Mindley. Runs in again to bowl to Munson Hodge, and again outside the on-stump. Good shape on that delivery, but it needed to have been closer to the batsman to induce him into a shot. As it was, Munson Hodge left it alone.
Yes, a bit short of a length, that one, and Hodge had no problem just letting it go through to the keeper. But again, look at the acreage he's got, though, Garfield, on the onside. So it's putting a lot of pressure on the bowler, and it's not conducive to trying to get him out. Markina
Mindley now bowls, and this one is played into the square on the offside. There is no run fielded at point. No run. Munson Hodge, as I said, with 61, the top scorer in this innings so far, has really been the anchor around which the innings should be built. He was the opening batsman. And now, you're absolutely right. I think John Campbell might have heard you, or certainly read your mind, Terry.
That wouldn't be difficult, Garfield.
Yes, it should be a no-brainer, really. So he's brought him in closer. So he's now in a deep mid-wicket position. Here comes Markina Mindley bowls, and this one outside the off-stump, closer to the batsman, but still not close enough. So now the man who had been at deep square leg is now in a mid-wicket position, and Munson Hodge still has acres of space on the leg side. There's 3 players on there's 3 fielders on the leg side. There's a mid-on, the mid-wicket, and the deep fine leg.
And nothing wrong with attacking the off-stump line. That's fine, but at least now he's got something more to think about.
Markina Mindley now bowls, and this one, forward defensive comes Munson Hodge. and there is no run back along the pitch. Marquino Mindley fields on his follow through. He dishes it off to the man in the covers, who gives the ball a vigorous polish on his trousers. Passes on to the captain, John Campbell, who does the same thing. John Campbell at mid-off, as hands it over now to Marquino Mindley, who turns at the top of his mark at the Randy Roberts end. Fourth morning, no sunshine yet, overcast conditions. As here comes Marquino Mindley, balls and forward defensive again, solid in defense. Monson Hodge plays it down to mid-off. That's the end of the over, the end of which the Leeward's Hurricanes 140 for 6. And they're now 161 runs behind. Monson Hodge 61, Hayden Walsh Jr. 23. This is 14 overs, 4 maidens, 39 runs, 1 wicket for Marquino Mindley. Derval Green now to be bowling from the Sir Curtly Ambrose end.
Yes, it seems that Mindley is still getting into his work this morning. He's bowling a bit short to really trouble the batsman. But the Leeward Islands would be thinking, or they should be thinking, that just a bit more application from the top order, because we're into the 4th day, Garfield, and the pitch is still playing very true. There's no demons in it. It's still good for batting, but they've missed out.
Derval Green now runs into ball, and this one is played on the offside square, point fields, as Hayden Walsh Jr. faces from Derval Green. 2 slips, a gully. There's a short leg, and those are the close-in fielders, mid-off. There's John Campbell, the captain, has put himself in a short mid-off position. And actually, let's see if he's actually going back to regulation position. It's a little bit shortish. Let's see what happens. Here comes Derval Green. He runs in again to bowl to Hayden Walsh Jr. up to the wicket, bowls and taken on the, let's place this on into the onside. And they'll be fielded back behind square on the leg side. They get a single. Hayden Walsh Jr. moves on to 24, 141 for 6 now. And Monson Hodge to take strike. The helmet is dispatched. A more regulation field for Monson Hodge. Obviously not attacking Monson Hodge the way that they attack Hayden Walsh Jr. Certainly not with a short ball. But you're absolutely right. They should be attacking both batsmen. They have those 4 wickets remaining. They should be really pushing on this 4th morning to get those 4 wickets very quickly.
Yes, and again the man has gone, but he's gone backward of square now, right on the boundary for Hodge.
Here comes Derval Green, balls, and this delivery is pitched up. Almost looking for the Yorker there a while ago as Derval Green. It's played out back along the pitch. Fielded partially by the bowler on his follow-through, no run. 141 for 6, the score remains. So for Monson Hodge, there are 2 slips, a gully, a man just back with a point. There's a man in the covers. There is a mid-off, a mid-on, deep fine leg, and a man deep backward square leg boundary right on the ropes. Not so sure. You're absolutely right. Not so sure about the man at deep backward square leg. Here comes Derval Green. Runs in again. Balls. And this one is playing and is caught behind. Monson Hodge caught behind. And that one pitched up delivery. Monson Hodge went for the drive. Edge found. Catch taken. 141 for 7. The Jamaica Scorpions now 3 wickets away from victory.
Yes, a loose shot there by Monson Hodge. He'd been playing very well. That one was just tossed up a little further outside the off stump. He went for the drive and took the edge regulation catch through to Dennis Smith, the keeper. But he'd be disappointed. He played well for his 61. He was the anchor of the innings. And to go like that early in the morning, I suppose his feet weren't moving as quickly as he was getting into his work this morning, but a loose shot once again by a top order Leeward Islands batsman.
And it will be Alzari Joseph now coming to the crease, and he had some pretty strong heroics in the first innings for the Leeward's Hurricanes. You remember his blitzkrieg performance, really counterattacked blisteringly and belligerently in the first innings. In fact, let me tell you his score in the first innings. Alzari Joseph got 89 from 94 deliveries in the first innings. He was by far the top scorer. The batsman after him was Jeremiah Louis, who got 75. So 2 bowlers who really helped the Leeward's Hurricanes to be even so far in the match. Otherwise, the match might have been finished a long time ago. So Hayden Walsh Jr. will be hoping, he got 14 in the first innings. Now he's on 24. So 10 runs more than what he got in the first innings. Alzarri Joseph got 89 in the first innings. And let's see what he does here. So Alzarri Joseph, the new batsman, coming in to join Hayden Walsh Jr. And they've, of course, returned to the Leeward side following their international duties to prop things up. Jamaica Scorpions absolutely looking now to wrap things up very quickly under overcast conditions. The sun temporarily hidden here, a few clouds around, and they are looking a little bit ominous at this point. The Jamaica Scorpions will be mindful of that there may be rain around. They'd want to get things over very quickly. So now it's 2 slips, a gully to hit to Alzarri Joseph. Man at point, cover, mid-off, mid-on. A man just forward a square on the leg side and the deep fine leg. Here comes Derval Green. Runs in to bowl to Alzarri Joseph. He up to the wicket bowls, and this one is played into the offside square. And looking there for a single which was non-existent, and 2 chances for a run out there. Where was Alzarri Joseph going there? He just played the ball, opened the face of the bat, played the ball to point, to backward point, took off. There was no single there. He was sent back. The shot came out the stumps. Had that hit, he would have been out. And in fact, he had pretty much given up. I think now Hayden Walsh Jr. goes down the pitch to have probably a quick word with him to say, let's calm down, because we were just a little bit topsy-turvy there a while ago.
Yes, he made the mistake there, did Joseph, of ball watching and not watching his partner.
Here comes Derval Green. He runs in again from the Sir Curtly Ambrose end to bowl to Hayden Walsh Jr. To Alzarri Joseph. Plays this one into the covers. Fielded. There is no run. And let's see whether his approach will be similar to what he had in the first innings when he scored 89 from 94 deliveries, 7 fours, and also 6 sixes in that innings. It was a blistering, belligerent counterattack.
Yeah, it was a fantastic knock on the first day by Alzarri Joseph. But I think with the limited matches that he's played in the 4-day championship this year, he has been in some type of form. I can remember he got a 60-odd down in Trinidad and a 30-odd, 37 or so in previous innings. So he is in form, but of course with the situation of the match, he's got nothing to lose here. So he can just play his natural game.
Marquina Minley starting a new over to bowl to Hayden Walsh Jr. Goes for the hook shot, gets it well, 6 runs. So getting a good hold of that one was Hayden Walsh Jr. on the back foot and just swiveling and hitting it to the deep backward square leg boundary for 6 runs.
Yeah, lovely hook shot there by Hayden Walsh Jr. The field is still set for him with the short leg and the backward square leg and the fine leg on the boundary, but he played that magnificently well and right over the rope for 6. But we may see some fireworks here, Garfield, between these two, because they got nothing to lose.
Absolutely. They might go down fighting. 154 the deficit, 147 for 7 the Leeward's Hurricanes. Hayden Walsh Jr. on 30 now. And Alzarri Joseph yet to get off the mark. Marquina Mindley, let's see what his response will be. Will there be another short ball? So the field for Hayden Walsh Jr., he'll be peppered with the short balls, obviously. That's the ploy that the Jamaicans will employ against him. So it's a short leg, a man back with a square, as well as a deep fine leg, wideish fine leg. Let's see what happens here. There's a mid-on as well. Plus 2 slips a gully, man backward of point, and a mid-off. Here comes Marquina Mindley, runs in to bowl to Hayden Walsh Jr. up to the wicket bowls, and this one is driven into the covers. And the man runs around from mid-off to field in an extra cover position. There is a run for Hayden Walsh Jr. He moves on to 31, 148 now for 7.
Yes, that's good cricket by Hayden Walsh Jr. He's playing each ball on its merit. That one was just a bit short of a length outside off stump and just had no problem going on the back foot and punching it through the cover region, which of course with the strong leg side field is vacant for him. So good cricket after a good shot for 6.
The field for Alzarri Joseph now, 2 slips a gully, man back with a point, cover, mid-off. Here comes Marquina Mindley, balls, and this delivery is taken on the pad, and a peel, and he's gone. So Alzarri Joseph stands there, a disconsolate figure, taken on the pad, out leg before Marquina Mindley gets another wicket. Jamaica now 2 wickets away from victory, 148 for 8. Alzarri Joseph going without scoring after his heroics in the first innings.
Yes, hard to tell from our vantage point here as we're behind the wicket, but it looked pretty adjacent. Whether Alzari thought he got an edge on it, but he certainly stood there for quite a while with his arms akimbo, asking the umpire why he gave him out. So that's not something we want to see, and he's still gesticulating while he's walking off the ground, very despondent. But well bowled by Minley. He bowled in at the stumps, which is what you want for lower order batsmen. And Joseph was more or less caught on the crease. He tried to come forward, didn't really get a good stride in, and the umpire gave him out, believing that he was adjacent. So the death is nigh, Garfield. 2 wickets to go, and still trailing by 153 runs are the Hurricanes.
So, Alzari Joseph going without scoring. LBW bowled Markina Minley. So, a second wicket for Markina Minley. 14.3 overs, 4 maidens, 46 runs, 2 wickets. And certainly he got a 5-4 to go with his 5-4 in the first innings. So, 7 wickets so far for him in this match. There are 2 more wickets to go for the Leeward's Hurricanes. The Jamaica Scorpions have done very, very well so far in this on this opening morning. Just about 26 minutes of play, and they've already picked up 2 wickets. Munson Hodge first, and now Alzari Joseph going without scoring, LBW.
And now Jeremiah Louis is joining Hayden Walsh Jr., and he also had a good knock in the first innings of 75 with that 100-run stand with Alzari Joseph. But a bit different circumstances this time round, as he was, by the time Alzari had made his runs, Louis was well set and was able to continue on with the last wicket.
And with the counter-attack that they did, because it was a recovery, a significant lower order recovery for the Leeward's Hurricanes in that first innings. Here comes Markina Mindley running in to bowl his first delivery to Jeremiah Louis. This one a short delivery outside the off stump. Louis just watches it go by. Perhaps, as they would say back in the day, smelling the leather as it passes by, as taken by Dennis Smith, the wicketkeeper. Didn't offer a shot there. It's obvious that if the Leewards are to mount, and that would be an extraordinary comeback and a fight back, if they're to mount that, this pair will have to be the pair to do it. Let's see what happens here as Jeremiah Louis. 2 slips behind him, a gully, man at backward point, mid and a mid-off. Here comes this delivery is closer to the bat. Jeremiah Louis shaped to play it, hit there a while ago, taken by the wicketkeeper. 148 for 8.
Yeah, that was a bit closer. Good rising ball just outside the off stump, and he definitely had Louis playing at that one. So Louis just needs to concentrate as much as he can, but a lot of pressure on the lower order batsmen, with once again the top order failing for the Hurricanes.
Here comes Markina Mindley from the Sir Randy Robertson to bowl, and this one is played into the offside, square on the offside by Jeremiah Louis, fielded by the man at backward point. There is no run, and that's the end of the over from Markina Mindley. So a successful over from Markina Mindley, the over in which he got the wicket of Alzari Joseph out leg before without scoring. 148 for 8. Jeremiah Louis yet to get off the mark. Hayden Walsh Jr. on 31, and perhaps Hayden Walsh Jr. Well, this pair certainly, when you consider the 75 that Jeremiah Louis made in the first innings, this pair obviously will hold out all the hope of any sort of recovery, any sort of extraordinary, remarkable fight back for the Leewards. It rests with this pair squarely.
Yes, most definitely. But Jamaica obviously be happy with their work so far this morning. Both opening bowlers getting a breakthrough, and they've held their line. They bowled very well, basically just on or about off stump or attacking the stumps, and that's put them in the position where they're only 2 wickets away now from a victory.
Here comes Derval Green starting a new over now to bowl to Hayden Walsh Jr. Pushes it into the onside, and no run as fielded by the man at backward square leg. He remains 31. For him now, there is the man obviously will ploy again to get him on with a short ball, because there's a short leg under the helmet. There is the man just back with a square leg. There's a fine leg, and there is a mid-on. But the man at deep backward square leg had been a little bit deeper previously, so he's coming to a regulation backward square leg position. Here comes Derval Green. He runs in bowls and driven through the offside 4 runs, nobody moves. Brilliant cover drive by Hayden Walsh Jr. Just going onto the front foot. Nice flowing drive. Just the bat just flowed through the ball. The ball just rushed along the turf through the cover region for 4. 152 for 8. Hayden Walsh Jr. moves on to 35.
Yeah, sweet shot by sweet shot by Hayden Walsh Jr. there, and obviously any time Devil Green over pitches, he's got all the space to drive him through the offside with a predominant leg side field. So well played by Hayden Walsh Jr. And overall, he's looked well. He's moved on to 35, and he's batted well this innings.
Absolutely, he has. And obviously, when he knew and he knows that he's being peppered with those short balls, he knows that that's the ploy. In fact, the man at short leg now has disappeared. Here comes Devil Green. He runs into ball to Hayden Walsh Jr. Shortish delivery outside the off stump, left alone to be taken by the wicket keeper. No run, no wicket. By the way, so the man at short leg has disappeared. So there's now a less attacking field for Hayden Walsh Jr. So 2 slips, a gully, man at point, and there is a man in the covers. There's a mid-off, a mid-on, man at deep fine leg, and man just back with a square. So obviously they've now dispensed with that ploy to really go after him in terms of with a short ball. Let's see what happens. Perhaps they're trying to set him up. Here comes Devil Green balls. This delivery, he's back along the pitch, plays Hayden Walsh Jr. No run. He stays on 35, 152 for 8. 2 more wickets for the Jamaica Scorpions as the sun begins to peep out here at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium in North Sound Antigua. It's been a battle between the sun and the clouds to try to peep out. A few dark clouds moving by. No immediate threat of rain, you don't think. The ground staff, they're congregated down there, but they're not very eager. They're not very anxious at this point. They're just making sure that they watch things. Here comes Devil Green running into bowl, and this one is outside the off stump. Good corridor, left alone though to be taken by the wicket keeper, Hayden Walsh Jr. You can see his concentration. You can really see him concentrating hard, looking to keep his wicket.
Most definitely, and I think this is a better field though for Green. He's maintaining that good line and length outside off stump and bringing the guy from short leg. He's not really peppering him, you wouldn't say, with the short delivery. So bringing the short leg out and strengthening the offside field, putting him in covers, I think that makes sense.
Devil Green runs up now to ball towards R. Joseph outside the off stump again. That one kept a shade low, left alone to be taken by the wicket keeper. That's the end of the over from Devil Green. 20 overs, 4 maidens, 60 runs, 3 wickets. A decent work by Devil Green. And he, of course, took the first wicket to fall this morning, that of Monson Hodge. And the second wicket to fall was that of Marquino Mindley. So the 2 opening bowlers this morning have shared both wickets to fall. 152 for 8. Jeremiah Louis yet to get off the mark. Hayden Walsh Jr. on 35. The deficit now 149 for the Leeward's Hurricanes. They're 152 for 8.
Yes, and Hayden Walsh Jr. Playing well, as I say. Jeremiah Louis, we can have a look now to see if he's able to stick around. But basically, it's just time for the Jamaica Scorpions. They've been on their game again this morning, as they have been basically throughout this 4-day contest, and just 2 wickets away. They look like they brought the short leg back for Mindley as he'll be bowling at Louis.
Absolutely. So Marquino Mindley to bowl to Jeremiah Louis, who is yet to get off the mark. 2 slips, a gully, man at backward point. There's a short leg as well. Here comes Marquino Mindley, bowls and going, beating outside the off stump. I think that one actually went between the bat, actually came back. Instead of beating him outside in terms of beating the outside edge, it actually beat the inside edge, it appears to me.
Yes, most definitely a big gap between bat and pad there by Louis, and he was very lucky that it didn't take his off stump.
Absolutely. So that one actually kept a shade low as well. I've seen a few balls this morning keep a shade low. Of course, this is the 4th morning, and that the pitch sometimes has a propensity to do that on the 4th morning. Here comes Marquino Mindley running in now to bowl to Jeremiah Louis. He bowls, and this one is played onto the offside, going back and defending onto the offside on the on the back foot. 152 for 8. Jeremiah Louis yet to get off the mark. So 2 slips, a gully, man at backward point. There's a mid-off, a mid-on, a man just back with a square leg and a deep fine leg. That's the field for Marquino Mindley to bowl to Jeremiah Louis. He'll be hoping to get one of those two slips in play, or certainly the gully. Here comes Marquino Mindley running in now from the Sir Randy Robertson to bowl, and this one is played in the onside into the vacant mid-wicket area, just past the man at short leg, and they come back for 2 runs. So off the mark is Jeremiah Louis. He's on to 2 now, 154 for 8. Louis now on 2. That one playing it all along the ground, no danger there with that shot. Just playing it past the man at short leg into the vacant mid-wicket area.
Yes, squeezed off the inner portion of the bat, but through the short leg. So he's off the mark now. But I'd even be inclined to move myself with Campbell there mid-off. I don't think Louis is going to drive too many deliveries, especially the way Mindley's bowling to him just back of a length and bring himself into a third slip position.
Here comes Marquino Mindley now, changing the line of attack. He bowls, and this one is just taking off the... that was a rising delivery. The short leg for a second there got a little bit excited. The slippers got a little excited because they thought that could have been some sort of interest for the short leg there.
Definitely, but he played it well. Louis rode the bounce, got it down, and more importantly, evaded the short leg.
Here comes Marquino Mindley again from the Sir Randy Roberts end. 154 for 8. Bowling to Jeremiah Louis, who is on 2. He's up to the wicket, bowls, and a short delivery, and Jeremiah Louis goes for that extravagant shot over the onside. Makes no contact. Ball goes to be taken by the wicketkeeper, Dennis Smith. I'm not so sure that he'd want to try that at this point, though.
No, and by the looks of things, he's got no intentions of hanging around here. He's going to go for it if it's up there. But... very hard to play these deliveries for a lower order batsman such as Louis, with Mindley coming round the wicket to him, because every delivery is right at him.
Marquino Mindley bowls, and this one again just fended off, as that one is another sharp rising delivery. Testing over there from Marquino Mindley, coming to an end, the end of which it's the Leeward's Hurricanes 154 for 8. Jeremiah Louis, who is on 2. Hayden Walsh Jr., who is on 35. The score here at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium, the deficit 147 for the Leeward's Hurricanes. If they would want Jamaica to bat again, 154 for 8, deficit 147.
Yes, and Green looks to continue. I think if another breakthrough doesn't come in the next couple of overs, Campbell might be inclined to bring his spinner in Merchant back, who of course bowled very well late yesterday, and just to change it up a bit and harder for lower order batsmen to play the spin.
Derval Green now runs into ball and taken at slip, caught at slip is Hayden Walsh Jr. Beautiful delivery outside the off stump, went for the drive, edge found, catch taken at first slip. That's the end of Hayden Walsh Jr. He goes, and the Leewards now 154 for 9. Just one more wicket to go. The fat lady hasn't yet started to sing, but she's certainly clearing her throat.
Most definitely, and that one wasn't there for the drive as the previous ones had been for Hayden Walsh. That one was just a bit back of the length, angling into him. He went for the drive through the covers, took the edge, and a smart catch by the first slip fieldsman there. So just one wicket away now, Jamaica Scorpions, for what will be a thoroughly well-deserved victory.
Hayden Walsh Jr. going for 35, caught a first slip of the bowling of Derval Green. So a second wicket this morning for Derval Green, now his 4th in this innings. 20 overs, 4 maidens, 60 runs, 4 wickets for Derval Green. Certainly thoroughly deserved. He's bowled well in this innings. And now it will be the last batsman, the number 11 batsman. Final pair, 154 for 9, the deficit 147. I don't think that's all. That's in any sort. I don't think anybody should be concerned about the deficit now. It's really just the one more wicket for the Scorpions to get and to wrap things up here.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, the Hurricanes have only just gone over halfway from the deficit of 300. But I've been very impressed this morning, though, Garfield, with the way the Jamaican bowlers in Green and Mindley have gone about things. They bowl as they should to lower order batsmen, always looking to be there round about off stump or on the stump line and it's paid dividends for them.
Kean Pemberton, the new batsman, after a few more comments from Terry Laraji. We will welcome for the first time this morning the great Vincey Boyne, perhaps to describe the final rights of this match.
Yes, as Green looks to start a new over, and he'll be bowling to the new man, not the new over, sorry. Second ball of his over, and he'll be bowling to the new man, Kean Pemberton, and welcome Vincey.
Good morning, Terry. Good morning, everyone. We see Green bowling just a bit outside off stump, and I don't know. It looks like Kean Pemberton wasn't so sure what he was doing there. It's sort of like a waft, beating the inside edge. Could have easily hit the edge and gone onto the stumps there.
Most definitely didn't look as though he knew whether to play at it or leave it alone. But he is number 11 now, Vincey.
Well, yes. Doesn't mean that he cannot apply himself at that position. I guess in some respects, the Leewards have basically given up. They have lost 9 wickets now, and they would really have to fight to save this match. And Green again, this one pitching on off stump. I guess it just a little outside off stump. Didn't continue on its trajectory towards the off stump, but sort of straightened and bounced a bit, and we saw Kean Pemberton swinging and missing. The only thing I think that could save the Leewards right now is
a hurricane.
A hurricane. Not even rain, right? A hurricane. So Green again into, and this one is full of length right up and off stump, but this time Pemberton elects to play defensively out into the outside, and you could see Green looking at him as if to say, come on, you look like a rabbit in the last 3 deliveries I bowled you now. You're looking like you want to keep me out. We want to finish this thing today. But
like
he stood up for a while and looked at the batsman. Now he's gone back to his, walking back to his bowling mark, to the top of his bowling mark. There are now 3 slips, a gully. They're employing full attack, a forward short leg, a leg gully. And this one is down the leg side. There's an appeal for caught behind, but I think more or less it's more optimistic shout, more so than anything. But they've gone full attack now. 3 slips, a gully, a leg gully, a forward short leg, a short extra cover, a point, and a deep backward square leg or fine leg on the boundary. I guess that's the only feeler at this moment on the boundary. Everyone else is more or less in an attacking position. Green bowling his final delivery of the over to Pemberton. This one is down the leg side, beating him inside between leg stump and the pads, and going down the leg side, and keeper Smith did a very good job to collect that delivery, as it looked as if it was on its way towards the fine leg boundary. End of the over. Leeward Islands are 154 for 9, having lost 3 wickets so far this morning. The not-out batsman, Jeremiah Louis on 2, and Kean Pemberton on 0.
Yes, 3 for 20 this morning, Vincey, and of course Jamaica well on their way to victory. But the Leewards must be disappointed. It's been the story of the season that the top order just hasn't fired, and again in this match, and that is why they're in the position that they're in today. But full credit to Jamaica. They have played well, played some good cricket over the course of the previous 3 days.
Yes, I certainly would agree with that. And again, the Leewards would certainly be disappointed, especially after the position that they were in last season. They ended in last season. It looked like they were on an upward trajectory. So we see there again a short delivery from Minley coming around the wicket to Jeremiah Louis. He just kind of backed away outside the leg stump and had an almighty swing at it. Ball just coming off the bat and lobbing gently into the offside. Point runs around to field, no run scored.
Yes, well, nothing to lose now. There's no use just standing there. So Jeremiah Louis will be having a go.
Yes. Minley again around the wicket to Louis. Short delivery again. He just pushes it away, goes away into the slip cordon. One bounce to the gully fielder who stopped it. Stopped it from going away and possibly getting any runs. No chance for a catch there, but certainly you could see that ball rising into the chest of Louis, and he just fended it off into the slip region.
Might be a fuller pitch delivery around the corner here, though, from Minley.
Who knows? Around the wicket again, another short delivery, and this time Louis again goes after it, and this one goes away over the mid-wicket region into the boundary for 4 runs. So if Minley is going to continue bowling short, Louis is certainly setting himself up to take him on, and he had success there with that delivery, pulling it away through the mid-wicket region for 4 runs.
Yeah, good shot there by Louis. Made contact that time, very nice contact, and hit it in the wide open spaces through the mid-wicket region. But
yes.
If I was Minley, I'd be looking to get one right up there on the stumps.
Yes,
because,
certainly.
as you say, Vinci, Louis is certainly setting himself up for anything short.
Yeah, that is true. And Minley so far for the morning has, well, not for the morning, for the innings has 16 overs as he comes up to Louis, and Louis gets a full length delivery. I guess he was expecting that delivery and drives it away through the mid-on region for 4. Looks as if he anticipated that delivery, backed away a little, gave himself some room, freed his left leg, and punched it through the mid-on region for 4 good-looking runs again. So Louis is certainly, either he gets out or he's going to go down swinging, and he has certainly picked up 2 4s so far in this over. Again, Minley around the wicket to Louis. Another short one. He pulls and it pulls it down. One bounce to the forward short leg fielder who stops it. Don't think he actually fielded it. It probably cannoned into his pads and just effectively did not beat him. So no run scored there. And we see them now moving the gully into an extra cover position, moving the second slip into a gully position.
And bringing
so
the field
presently the field now is a slip, a gully, point, extra cover, mid-off, mid-on, and they've moved now the forward short leg into a mid-wicket position, and we have a backward square leg and a fine leg. And we see the bowler Minley aborting his run, jogging back to his spot, and now starts his run up again. He's going to bowl in around the wicket to Louis, and Louis plays it away over the point region into the cover boundary for 4 runs. So he was there backing away, and Minley carried that ball a little wide outside the off stump. Jeremiah Louis adjusted, played it away over the point region into the boundary for 4.
Yeah, nice shot. Excuse me, nice shot once again by Louis. But I don't think Jamaica would mind that they brought the field in to try and stop the single, I'd say, so they can have a go at Pemberton. Minley, though, I like the way he looks, though, Vinci. He's got a nice, smooth action, reminiscent a bit, to me, anyway, of Corey Collymore.
Okay, yes, nice rhythm coming up to the wicket. Not express pace, but good enough pace, and he has bowled with great consistency throughout the match, picking his spots and a good line and length. And the batsman, I don't think, played well. I don't, though he deserved to have his 5 wickets and 7 wickets so far in the match. I think that the batsman could have exhibited a little bit more patience and a little more technique in playing him, especially in the first innings.
Yes, very true.
So we see Green now into Pemberton, short of a length delivery outside off stump. Pemberton waves his bat at it, just goes over the top edge through to the keeper. So no run there. A little bit of a chancy shot, but you can see that Pemberton does not appear to be an accomplished batsman, and he seems to be somewhat indecisive at times when he's playing his shots.
Yeah, most definitely he's a regular number 11. You'd have to be fair to say, and even the partnership he put on with Louis in the first innings, I think he only contributed 2 to that.
Yes, Green again into Pemberton, and this time he's executing a cover drive, beating the extra cover fielder, and he had 2 there. However, they elected to settle for 1 run, giving Louis the strike, smartly so, because Louis is the more accomplished of the two batsmen, and he would want to give Louis the majority of the strike in this ninth wicket partnership. Who knows what they can put together here this afternoon or this morning, if they would be able to stage a fight back to the Jamaica Scorpions. Highly improbable, but certainly worth a try.
Yes, they got nothing to lose. Certainly worth a try, but as you say, very unlikely.
So Green now runs into Louis, full length delivery, and Louis goes after it, high and high, over mid-off region, into the boundary, 2 bounces for 4. So he certainly is going to take on the bowling, certainly going to swing hard, and he's going to try and accumulate as much runs as he can. So the score now moves on to 171 for the loss of 9 wickets. Jeremiah Louis quickly moves on to 18. And Pemberton, his not-out non-striker partner, is on 1. And the Green, who has picked up 4 wickets so far in this innings, for 65 runs, is bowling his 4th delivery of this 22nd over, and he swung away over the mid-wicket region for 6 runs. So Louis is certainly taking a liking to Green, as he did also in the first innings. Towards the end of the innings, he hit Green around a bit for a few boundaries in his 75 that he scored in the first innings, and he's prepared again to take on the bowling as they fight in this 9th wicket partnership.
Yes, very good clean hitting there by Jeremiah Louis, and enjoying the opportunity to free his hands, but he's rushed on to 24, the partnership up to 23, and at least it gives us here a bit of excitement. That one, he might have even lost the ball.
Yes, they're taking their time now to try and retrieve the ball. Ball went over the mid-on region, saw the pitched up delivery just outside off stump, and Louis extended his arms and got full contact, hit it away for a clean hit into the boundary, over the boundary actually, in the mid-wicket region for 6 runs, in the cow corner region as some people would refer to it. And he got 6 good-looking runs there, and they're now taking some time to retrieve the ball. I think they may have lost sight of where that ball went, so now they're taking some time to retrieve that ball while the fielders take a short break. You saw Louis go down to the boundary line and consulted, I believe, with one of his teammates. The players are now standing around on the field, anxiously awaiting the return of the ball. But Terry, what is your view and assessment of how the Leewards have gone about this second innings?
To be quite honest, Vinci, disappointed. There was too many soft dismissals, and the innings required patience, and they had Hodge given them the lead in that regard. I thought he played extremely well, but unfortunately nobody was willing to put up their hand and stay with him, and there was a lot of soft dismissals. The boy Merchant, he bowled well, but he wasn't doing.
So we see Green now bowling again to Louis, just a back of the length, but kept a bit low, going through to the keeper, no run scored.
He wasn't doing anything substantial, getting substantial turn out of the wicket or anything like that, but he was dropping it on a length all the time, and the batsman, the application just wasn't there. As I say, a couple of, or quite a few soft dismissals, and when you've got a guy set down the other end and needing to bat out time, basically, it was there for them, but they just failed to apply themselves.
Green again into Louis, and he edges this between the first and the first slip and the keeper, and it goes down to the boundary. Both the first slip and the keeper were indecisive whether to go after that chance, and it just flew away down to the boundary for 4 runs.
Yes, and Devil Green walks dejectedly out to his fielding position after that ball, because that should have been his 5th wicket of the innings. The first slip seemed to actually take a step away from the ball, thinking that the keeper was going to dive across and take that one. But if he had stayed where it was, it would have gone straight into his midriff. So opportunity missed there.
I'm sure the Jamaica Scorpions or the fans of the Jamaica Scorpions are probably thinking, oh, for Jeffrey Dujon, eh?
Most definitely. Jeffrey would have taken that in his right hand. Huh?
However, I think the Leeward Islands batters in both the first innings and the second innings, if they were to take a page out of the Jamaica first innings, especially Blackwood, here is Minley with his first delivery of the over to Pemberton. The keeper does not feel cleanly, it bubbles away, and the batsmen take the opportunity to get a single, and also to from a bye, and also to get Pemberton off of the strike.
Yeah, a bit sloppy there, or he did get a unfavourable bounce, did Smith, the keeper, but they wouldn't have wanted that first ball of the over. They were looking to try and keep Pemberton on strike. But you're quite right, and that's why I say, Vinci, about showing the patience. The Jamaica Scorpions basically outplayed the Leewards in this match, and it comes back to the patience they showed with the bat in their hand. They weathered the storm on the second morning, and once they did that, they were then very determined to establish a base, and they just built partnership after partnership and wore down the Leewards.
Yeah, and if you were to, well, after this delivery, Minley, again, into Louis, this time over the wicket, and Minley pushes this away towards the point region, the deep point region, but elects not to run. If you were to look at the bowling of the Leewards early in the innings when they were bowling to Blackwood and Bonner at the time, to me, they were putting more pressure on the batsmen that the Jamaica bowling was putting on the Leeward's batsmen. However, Blackwood and Bonner decided to weather the storm, fight it out, put on a big partnership, and were able to keep them out and then reap the results. Here is Minley again to Louis. Louis just pushes it out into the extra cover region, no run scored. Yes, I was saying they were able to weather it out, and then later on when the pitch got a little flatter and the conditions were more favorable to the batsmen, they now started to reap the rewards, and you could see Blackwood ended up with a huge total of 248.
Yeah, exactly right, and that basically is red ball cricket.
Yes, so we see Minley again into Louis. Short delivery, looked like a slow bouncer. He tapped it away into the offside, and I guess he stood up thinking that it would have raced away to the boundary, but the mid-off fielder or the long-off fielder ran around, saved it, and they only basically walked through for a single. 4 deliveries so far in the over, and so Minley would be chancing his hand with the final 2 deliveries to the number 11 batsman, Keon Pemberton. Let's see if he could block these 2 deliveries and give the Leeward Islands Hurricanes some more time at the crease and a little bit more fight. So now we see the Scorpions have brought in the fielders, employing a little more attacking field, forward short leg, 2 slips, a gully, a point, a cover, a mid-off, a mid-on, a square leg, and a fine leg, and a short delivery there by Minley to Pemberton. Pemberton sort of tried a pull shot, but it seems as if it came into his chest and just boned it off into the offside. No run scored, so didn't look very convincing on that pull shot though.
No, not at all, but I think a full-length delivery had served them better. But going back to after this delivery,
Minley again over the wicket to Pemberton, another short delivery. This was a wasted delivery, I think. I think at this stage of the game, attacking the stumps to the number 11 batsman is the order of the day, and that short delivery to me was a wasted one.
Most definitely. And just before I take my leave, Vinci, what I was going to say, what we were talking about the first innings, and I feel that is where the Leewards lost the match, in that they threw everything at them in that first session of the second day, didn't get the breakthrough, and you could see from lunchtime on, they just looked flat. They looked dejected, and the Scorpions cashed in.
Yes, certainly. So We're going to see a new over now from Derval Green. Derval Green will be continuing the attack to Jeremiah Louis. Jeremiah Louis, so far for the morning, has decided to take on the bowling, scoring 29 runs so far. Green over the wicket to Louis, and Louis is swinging hard, and this one goes up into the air, into the extra cover region, and he is caught. And that's the end of the Leeward's resistance. The Leewards now have been bowled out for 183, and they have lost by an innings and 118 runs. As I welcome Iroots Martin here for the wrap-up of the innings.
Morning to our listeners and morning to you, Vinci. I must be the luck the Jamaicans were searching for. As soon as I took my seat, the first ball, that was the end of the game. So maybe I was some good luck for the Jamaicans, but good win. All in all, good win by the Jamaicans, well played, and they started with that big double 100 by Jermaine Blackwood. That was the foundation for the 561 runs, which, put the Leewards outside, and from there on they kept on going and building, and they're reaping the reward now for all the hard work that they would have done.
Yeah, certainly they would have reaped the rewards after scoring 561 runs in the first innings, declaring for 9 with the loss of 9 wickets, and the Leewards were not able to mount any sort of serious resistance, as they were bowled out for 260 in the first innings, and now second innings bowled out for 183. The scoring, let's go through the scorecard. The first wicket to fall was Kieran Powell. He was caught Smith, bowled Markino Minley for 17. Ross Powell was next to go. He was caught Smith again, bowled Merchant for 19. Amir Django did not stick around very long. He was caught Blackwood by Green, off the bowling of Green for 7. Casey Carty again, continuing a string of poor performances, was caught Blackwood, bowled Merchant for 2. Jamal Hamilton caught and bowled Merchant off the first delivery for a duck. Terence Ward caught McCarthy, bowled Green for 3. Next batsman to go was Monson Hodge early this morning, the first wicket of the morning to fall. He was caught Smith, bowled Green for 61, and he showed a measure of resistance but was not able to carry on his resistance this morning. Hayden Walsh was caught off the bowling of Green for 35, and he played a few good shots early this morning, a couple of cover drives for 4 and a hook shot off of Minley for 6, but was not able to stick around as he got a delivery by Green, full-length delivery, which he just pushed away into the offside, into the slip cordon, and was caught for 35. Alzari Joseph was LBW off the bowling of Minley for a duck, and Jeremiah, the last batsman dismissed, was caught in the covers caught Williams off the bowling of Green for 29 off of 23 deliveries. Kean Pemberton was the not-out batsman. Bowling for the Jamaica Scorpions, Markino Minley, 18 overs, 4 maidens, 61 runs, 2 wickets. Derval Green, 22 overs and 1 delivery, 5 maidens, 75 runs, 5 wickets, and this is continuing from his 4-wicket haul in the first innings. Alwyn Williams bowled 8 overs, 1 maiden, 24 runs, no wickets. Jermaine Blackwood, 1 over, 4 maiden. Jamie Merchant, 15 overs, 6 maidens, 12 runs, 3 wickets. And I think it was Jamie Merchant who would have broken the back of the Leeward Islands Hurricanes middle order that allowed for Derval Green to continue his success in the second innings. And Patrick Harty, 3 overs for 4 runs.
Yes, very good performance here by the Jamaicans, and some sloppy cricket by the Leeward Islands, and the Jamaicans use it to their benefit. And as I mentioned before, good inning by Jermaine Blackwood, which made the Jamaicans batted only once, and had some good partnerships. He had a century from the captain of the Jamaica team,
John Campbell.
John Campbell, yes, and he had a few more good partnerships, surrounding him, and that's where the Jamaicans really took the game from the Leeward Islands when they batted. The Leeward Islands in their first inning had a poor start, and they redeemed themselves with Alzari Joseph and Jeremiah Louis, who had a big partnership, and a small one from Hamilton, and that saw them to 260 runs. And after that, as I said, the Jamaicans put on a big total and gave them 301 to avoid the follow-on. And they never really made it even close.
No, they didn't. And again, we have to really give a high degree of credit to the innings that Jermaine Blackwood played. I would say Jermaine Blackwood and Nkrumah Bonner at first in that partnership that they featured in, where Bonham ended up making 48 and was unfortunately run out. But both of them stood there, weathered the storm. The Leeward's attack at that time, to me, was much more, based on what I've seen throughout the match, their attack seemed to be causing a lot more problems than what I saw, and they were doing a lot more with their deliveries than what I saw with the Jamaica fast bowlers, or the Scorpions fast bowlers. However, Jermaine Blackwood and Nkrumah Bonner, they were willing to stick there and fight it out. And as soon as they were able to fight it out and the conditions got a little more favorable for them, they were able to pick their spots, score their runs, and Jermaine Blackwood must be commended for his huge innings of 248 runs. I don't know how you saw it, but that is how I saw it. I thought that even though the Leeward's bowlers were creating more problems, the fact that the batsmen were willing to fight and stick it out, they later on were able to be rewarded for the fight that they showed early in their innings.
Yes, and I think Jermaine Blackwood would have gotten an opportunity early in his inning, and after that, he never really gave any. He played a few balls in the air, but they were in space. They weren't to hand. So, all in all, I would say good batting from Jermaine Blackwood. And as I said before, even if the selectors don't really pick him for the West Indies, at least he would have given himself the opportunity to, gain selection into the West Indies senior team. And that's a feather in his cap where he's concerned and where the Jamaicans are also concerned. And for the Leeward Islands, a lot is left to be desired, and I hope they could take the positives from this game and carry with them and try to make next season a much better season, because after coming off of a good season the previous year, reaching about third in the competition, finishing about third in the competition last season, and this season finishing at the bottom of the table, it's something that they would really have to go back to the drawing board and have a look and assess what they would have done, better in the previous season and that they didn't do this season, and just try to put things in place for the upcoming season, because now this season is all behind already, and they only have to look forward
to next season, yes, and maybe later on in the year to the Super 50 tournament. But again, as you said, they certainly have to regroup. They have to reassess the management team, the coaching staff. They have to look at a couple of things regarding the team and development as far as how the team moves forward. And they also, I think one of the things that they also may have to start looking at is their pool, the pool of players that they have available to them. I don't know how deep the pool is. Maybe the cupboard might not be they might not have as many options in terms of players. And the players that are looking on at what is happening with Leeward's cricket, that are not in the Leeward, that are not franchise players, that are not in the Leeward setup, they have to start thinking to themselves, hey, here is opportunity for me. How am I going to seize these opportunities that are being presented? What am I going to do to my game to seize these opportunities? Because, again, I think a lot of the players around the region are not taking opportunities or not creating opportunities for themselves by putting themselves, giving themselves big scores, taking a huge amount of wickets, so that selectors will have to look in their direction.
Yes, correct. And you would notice a few of the players on the Leeward Islands team, you would say to yourself or ask yourself the question, how is it that they would have been in the side for the complete season and they would not have been producing? You know, you would want to look into that, but, you know, we're only looking in and we can't really do anything about this selection. But what we would have noticed is that you have players not really performing and still maintaining their places.
Yes.
You know, so you would want to know what's really going on where that is concerned. And when you spoke about, you know, other players who are not in the setup, the Leeward Islands setup, and, you know, the opportunity is right there. It's an open door. You don't even have to rap on that door.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you just walk in through that door. The door is open.
Just do something.
Just do something.
Just
and
do
walk
something.
through the door. You don't have to say good afternoon, good morning. Nobody's there.
Yeah.
Nobody's at the door.
Yeah, so
There's
and this is something that our younger players have to start saying to themselves. And even when they're playing in their local domestic competitions, they have to start thinking, hey, when I am batting against a bowler or when I'm bowling against a batsman, it is not about me trying to dominate this player. It's about me trying to produce results. And if it means that I bat a full day to score a century instead of scoring the century in quarter of the day, let me bat the full day. Because what I'm doing is building my profile, building my my portfolio. Because I want to be able to know, as you say, just open the door and walk in. And walk straight into that team, because I would have had the body of work, the performances and the results to say that I deserve to be here.
Yes, and remember, when you're playing at your local level, you know, that's where it really starts, you know, because you want to do the good things there so that whenever you take the next step, you know, you would already understand your game and understand what it really takes to really put in a good performance.
And to be successful.
And to be successful as well. So, as I'm saying, when you go to play your local league, you must, you know, take it serious, you know, and try to score big runs as a batsman, because 100 in the domestic league is really about 40 playing in the regional competition.
Younger blood. I know they're not knocking down the door at the moment, and we have a problem here in the Leeward Islands that we don't get to play a lot of 2, 3, 4 day cricket. So they're basically selecting the 4-day squad off the 50 over squad. But even so, I don't feel that the Hodges, the Thomases, players like that, Saunders, that have been around for a few years now, are producing the kind of runs that they should be. But having said that, if you look at the overall picture or the bigger picture for as far as West Indies cricket is concerned, there's been a couple of players. Kyle Mayers is certainly, you know, one that stood out for Barbados. But then you've got somebody like a Devon Smith who's been tried and tested before and basically failed at test level. And a lot of batsmen haven't put the effort in that I'm sure the selectors are looking for. Maybe not so much the effort, but the application is just not there over the longer format of the game. But on a more positive side, though, few fast bowlers are starting to come through this season. We've seen the likes of Shamar Holder, Keon Harding, Anderson Phillip, they tell me, is promising. I've heard yourself and a few other guys speak of Niall Smith from Guyana. So that is a promising start as West Indies look to go forward overall.
Yes, certainly there is some promise, as you may say, but promise is one thing. We saw that some of the players have some of the natural ability. They have natural talent in terms of when we saw Niall Smith, we saw that he had some nice movement, nice rhythmic approach to the crease. He had a bit of pace. The thing is, we talk about players coming to the job with the basic skills, basic skill set. what is the board doing now to take them from the level where they have the basic skill set, where they become exceptional now? They learn some of the nuances of their craft, how they get even better than what they are when they know that they are at the regional level. You spoke about this youngster Smith. I don't have, not Niall Smith, but the other guy there. But I haven't seen him. I don't know how he is as a bowler. I assume he's a fast bowler.
Yeah, no, I was saying Devon Smith, the batsman.
Not Devon Smith. You call a youngster there.
I was saying Shamar Holder, Keon Harding.
Well, I know of Kean Harding. I've seen Kean Harding. We know of Shamar Holder from his exploits. I would like to know if Kean... Akil Hussain, right? But I would like to see if Shamar Anderson Phillip. That's the name. I don't know if he's a fast bowler or if he's
he's not exceptional pace, but he's got a bit of pace for Trinidad.
Right. Now my thing is, how do they? What is their work ethic? What are they willing to put in to even get quicker? You know, what are the coaches looking at to say, hey, I like what you're doing, but are you willing to put in the work? I don't know if you remember a few years ago, India came here to play a test match. And no, it was not a test match. It was a one-day match. They came here and they had their fast bowlers out there working, right, at the time. And you could see every day, every break in the session, those guys are running in. They put up their stump, they're running in and they're bowling, they're bowling. It's almost like, hey, okay, we want you to hit your spots, but we also want you to show that you have some pace. There was Veron, I think, Aaron, I think, a couple of them that were out there. And presently, a team like India that was not known for fast bowlers has a crop of fast bowlers that is rival to any in world cricket.
Yes.
And I'm saying, why can't we, who had a history of great fast bowlers, why can't we have a crop of fast bowlers that can rival any of the top teams in the region? What are our young fast bowlers willing to put in to get to that level of performance?
Yes, you make a good point, Vinci, and that is very true. I can remember watching over at Coolidge the A-team series, and that was against India also. And every 5 minutes, both batsmen and bowlers, as soon as they finished their job in the middle or any break in play, they were in the nets. You don't see that with our guys. They don't want, or they don't seem to want to put in the hard work. But even take a situation like this, I'm quite sure if we went out the back here at North Sound during this match, I don't think you would have seen too many Leeward Islands batsmen practicing after, being dismissed or whatever. They don't seem to have that around the region. We don't seem to have that mentality. But as far as the fast bowling is concerned, hopefully, Cricket West Indies are talking about setting up the high performance or academy just strictly for fast bowlers, doing some work with the Antigua government here in Antigua and Barbuda. Hopefully that will come about, and that will take them to the next level. So the ones that are showing promise will then eventually reach that next level. Hopefully that will come to fruition. I think players like Kemar Roach, I like the way that they held him back this year and managed him without letting him play all the matches. I think that's good. But I still think that somebody like a Roach, with his experience and everything like that, has a place in the one-day side where the bowling is an issue.
Yes, the bowling certainly is an issue there. But I bring you back to a situation some years ago, 2007, when the World Cup came to the region.
Yes.
Gavin Tong at the time was bowling really quick. And they had him in the nets bowling he was one of the net bowlers assigned to the Australian team.
Right.
And he was really firing it that day. And Matthew Hayden had already finished his batting. And when he saw what was happening out there, Matthew Hayden ran, put on his pads. He wanted a piece of Gavin Tongue. That is the sort of eagerness we need to see in our young cricketers. If you see a batsman is out there batting well, young fast bowler must say, "Hey, I want to take on that batsman.
Definitely.
I want to, if I mean when they're in the nets, they should want to take on the best batsman." The same thing with our batsmen. If they see a bowler is bowling out there with some fire, I mean, obviously, I'm not saying put yourself in danger, but, put on the proper gear. But you want to know that you can continue to build your game by batting against the best, because when you play at the highest level, these are the same bowlers that are you're going to be faced with playing against the best bowlers, and you have to be eager to bat the best, or bat what you perceive to be the best on the day when you're in the nets, so that when you take it to the higher level, that you're already prepared. Trust me, what you practice is what you're going to end up preaching. How you play in the nets is how you're going to play when you go out there on the match.
Most definitely, and that's why I say the attitude right around the Caribbean for our guys needs to change, because they just don't put in that effort that you're talking about, or should I say that extra effort that is required to succeed at the highest level.
And that is one of the reasons why maybe they're having issues with some of our players and their fitness. Because if you're a professional, I should not have to encourage you to be fit. You have to recognize this is where I make my money, and so I am certainly going to put emphasis on my fitness, because the fitter I am, the better I am going to perform.
Most definitely.
Our thanks to Vincey Boyne for his expert analysis as usual. Vincey Boyne is one of the best in Antigua and Barbuda, best in the Leeward Islands, the best in the Caribbean, as is Terry Laraji, as is Anthony Martin. That's why we have some of the finest commentators on. Just as we are about to wrap up.
Yourself.
Oh geez, I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to take that, Terry. You are. I follow your lead. But essentially, just as we're about to wrap up now, Terry, this is the 8th and final round of the West Indies Championships. It should have been 2 more rounds, but of course, COVID-19 has put paid to that. We should tell our viewers and our listeners as well that the final 2 rounds of the West Indies Championships, from the 26th to the 29th March, the 2nd to the 5th of April, have been abandoned, as is the Women's CMI Super 50 Cup. Antigua, 27th of March to the 12th of April. That has been called off. The regional under-15s boys championships in Antigua from the 9th to the 20th of April, called off. And the regional under-19s girls championship in Trinidad and Tobago called off as well from the 6th to the 12th of April. So, as I said, COVID-19 continues to dominate the headlines. We should also tell our viewers and our listeners, Terry, just as we are wrapping up, that there has been a major development in relation to schools, because in Antigua and Barbuda, because there has been a decision taken by the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology in relation to schools in Antigua and Barbuda. And in a release a short while ago, the Ministry of Education saying that to mitigate the impact of the spread of COVID-19, all educational institutions in Antigua and Barbuda will close early for the Easter vacation from Monday the 16th of March, that's tomorrow, to Friday the 27th of March 2020. The Ministry of Education will continue to monitor the situation, and if the crisis persists, will have to extend beyond the Easter vacation. Now, despite best efforts to arrest the spread of COVID-19, we will still face uncertainty and the considerable unease brought about by this uncertainty. It is necessary to implement additional changes informed by the recommendations of leading health officials and consistent with education systems around the world. So, it is that schools will close early in Antigua and Barbuda, as is the case right around the region. Many places right around the region, Trinidad, Jamaica, St. Lucia, all doing the same thing. Grenada doing the same thing. Pretty much all the Caribbean coordinating on it. So as of tomorrow, schools will be out early for the Easter vacation, indicating, of course, that there is a heightened awareness of the threat being posed by COVID-19 and intensified measures to arrest that spread. And of course, COVID-19 having a significant impact on educational institutions. Your final thoughts, Terry?
Yes, it's an unfortunate situation, but a worldwide pandemic that obviously needs to be dealt with for in the best interests of everybody. So hopefully they'll be able to get on top of it as soon as possible. But as far as just closing off on this much, full credit once again must go to the Jamaica Scorpions. They thoroughly deserved their victory and outplayed the Leeward Islands Hurricanes. But on a positive note, looking forward, hopefully the tour to England will go ahead, because I think exciting prospects are in store for the West Indies if the selectors take the course of looking at these performances in the 4-day championship that we've seen this year. Will be exciting young prospects that could get their opportunity in England.
Absolutely. So Jermaine Blackwood, 248, easily the player of this match, and he was the architect of Jamaica's massive 561 for 9 declared in their first innings, and of course their first and only innings, because they never needed to bat again, building up a 301 lead on first innings, which was enough to gain them victory by an innings and 118 runs. So Jamaica winning by an innings and 118 runs. Scores again: Jamaica 561 for 9 declared, the Leewards 260 and 183. Jamaica winning by an innings and 118 runs. Player of the match, easily, Jermaine Blackwood with a career best 248, an innings of sublime class, elegance and patience and concentration as well. So to be batting for so long was an absolute gem of an innings, and it's a pity that we had only a sprinkling of spectators to see what happened with Jermaine Blackwood's innings. Let me just close by reminding you of the stats for Jermaine Blackwood on that innings: 248 runs, facing 332 deliveries, 32 fours, 2 sixes, a strike rate of 74.6. And that was extraordinary. So his aggregate now has moved up to well over 760 in this competition as well. Fascinating for Jermaine Blackwood. Fascinating work by also for the Pacers. Derval Green for Jamaica and Marquino Mindley. 5 for Marquino Mindley in the first innings, 5 for Derval Green in the second innings, and not to be outdone as well, or not to be overlooked as well, a contribution of Jamie Merchant in the second innings, who with his 3 wickets, economical bowling, was able to set the foundation for Jamaica's onslaught in terms of with the ball.
Yes, most definitely. And as far as, just let me finish by saying, as far as Blackwood is concerned, I think he's done more than enough. Take his aggregate over 760 runs for the season. His average over 52. I would have him in my 11 for England, in opposed to Shamar Brooks.
We shall see what happens. That's it for our broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Garfield Burford. We leave you for the final time at North Sound in Antigua with the news that the Jamaica Scorpions winning comprehensively by an innings and 118 runs over the Leeward Hurricanes. On behalf of Terry Lamarji, on behalf of Vincy Boyne, and on behalf of Anthony Martin, it has been our pleasure bringing to you the coverage on radio as well as on streaming live. And on behalf as well of our technical lead, Chester Sterling, thank you so much for joining us. Goodbye.